This is exciting. So I just got this. Ooh, look, it's a pretty butterfly. This is the assignment that I need to complete for the costume college. It was going to be in 2020, but now it's in 2021 because of the plague. Sorry, the pandemic. Trying to have some comedy. So anyway, so it's a project. I'm really excited about it. I'm not going to tell you what's inside of this because I want it to be a surprise. But I will do some more videos for that project. I'll actually be making it twice because it just happens to be a project that I had made a while back when I was 19. I'm really quite excited and giddy about making this again because, like I said, I made it when I was 19 and I was a little bit experienced, but not obviously experienced in historical costume at that time, but had, you know, experience with seamstress work and construction and patterns. But I really didn't understand what I was doing or why I was making it. And I didn't really follow any kind of guideline or pattern or instruction. I just winged it, which, if you know me, is the way I do things. I look at something, I imagine the black patterning in my head, and then without doing any kind of actual work, I cut and commit to the cut and then make that work. So I'm more manipulating textile than I am following a pattern. I can do pattern, and I will for this. So I will be actually following a pattern to make a garment, which is, sorry, the cat is scratching. But I will be actually making the pattern, drafting the pattern, and actually using the pattern and making a garment with the pattern. So that's gonna be fun. I can't wait. No, I'm just joking. I'm actually excited to do it. I'll be posting videos of that pattern as I work it. So I'll show the drafting of the pattern and how I'm using that, the measurements that I'm using, and how exactly I'm going about doing that. I will not be using a prefab pattern, meaning I am going to use a block patterning and then draft it to what I want specifically and then end up with a unique pattern, and then I will be doing that construction off that actual pattern piece. So this is the inspiration for that design, and I'm going to make it completely off the image that is in here. In addition to that, I'm going to recreate the piece that I did when I was 19. I would show you photos of it, but I don't have it, so it's all locked up in here in my memory. I lost it somewhere in Germany. I'm not really sure exactly where I lost it, but I know I had it when I was going to Germany in my suitcase, and it disappeared. I do also have both the vintage pattern, or the vintage piece from 1940, and the piece that I made as a replica of that 1940s piece that were made of the same fabric that the original piece I made in 1996. I think that's when I was 19. I'm not really sure. I think it was 1996. Anyway, it's gonna be a fun project and I'm really excited about that, and I will be doing more the instructional video on the patterned piece that is inspired by this image and less on the more designed element that I create, but I will be showing both of those for you, so I hope that that is fun for people to watch. I guess it is. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else enjoys what I do. But nonetheless, it will be fun for me, and that's what's important, I guess. But it is kind of exciting because when I get there for the costume college, we will all be wearing our pieces for an event So that will be the first time that I experience something like that, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited to be in not only my element and to be encouraged to be in that element, but I'm also really excited to find like-minded people and to be at an event with like-minded people of all different skill sets and all different skill levels and all different dedications, either to costuming or to historical costuming or to fashion. So yeah, it's gonna be a game changer. It's gonna be a life changer. And the instructional for that there should hopefully go well. I hope. If I do a good job on that too. So we'll see. You know me and you've been around me for 5 minutes. You know that I'm always researching something, usually to do with costuming, but sometimes just for fun. I'm usually focused on the past in some way. This year in particular has been a lot to do with the Edwardian time period. So the Edwardian time period is just an extremely short-lived but also fascinating time in history, and I've always had dedication to it, but I've never really explored it. With the pandemic happening, I thought, you know what, I need a project, and this is what I've decided to do. So I've created a project, a living historian piece. It's called Squirgly, A Moment of Time. It's a focus on Norfolk, Virginia in the year 1910. Anywhere between 1906 to 1912 is where my research is being conducted. And it helps that the costume college is focusing on women's suffrage. The costume college got delayed. It's actually kind of good because it gives me a little bit more time to research and do my projects. So I'd already focused on doing a recreation and an inspired design of an Edwardian costume, and to create this project, so I reached out to the local photography network, and there are some people who are working actually in the wet plate and the techniques of the time, so I'm very excited about that. I will be setting those up for some fun collaborative shoots to capture the piece that I'm working on, but also for them. So it's a good cross collaboration. And then my daughter decided to join in on the fun. So I'll actually be creating 2 pieces. They're both based, the inspiration of both are based on actual Edwardian wear, but obviously I'm designing something reminiscent of an actual piece. So there is historical accuracy in the technique that's being used and the textile that's being used, but it's not an exact replication because it's an original design, but it's reminiscent. So if you can understand all that, it gets a little nerdy. So in my research, I've been doing from 1906 to 1912 for specifically Norfolk, Virginia, and then I've also been doing overall research for the Edwardian period, and as well I've been doing research for the suffrage movement worldwide. Unfortunately, I tend to focus mostly on America and England, but there's New Zealand and Australia, and there's some other places that are of high interest to me. So that's been taking up a lot of my energy and time. And then, as all good research goes, also found myself through a rabbit hole and onto what has become a passion project. There was an extraordinary female here named Pauline Adams, and she's just remarkable. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of information about her. I have uncovered some really good information. I'm still in kind of the baby steps of that research, so I don't have a lot to share with you. I will share these photos with you of her gravesite at the Elmwood Cemetery. And then sometimes I just get gifts, and I really love when somebody takes an interest in what I'm doing and they give me a gift. So today I got this. I love these books. They're great to have around. I really enjoy going through them multiple times. They're just fascinating to me. I love that people do these books. This one is centered around Ghent. It mentions Pelham Place Apartments twice, which is nice, because I feel like Pelham kind of gets overlooked in the whole scheme of things, but actually it was a pretty important building that was built. I did find out that Pauline Adams is actually somewhat involved in the build of Pelham Place, so that made that project even more interesting to research. So this is a lovely gift, and I really appreciate it, so thank you, Mike, very much. No mention of Pauline Adams in the entire book, even though she was very instrumental in the movement here in Norfolk, Virginia, and should have probably been mentioned at some point, but nobody seems to. And she's kind of been, overlooked slightly, and I really don't know why that is, because she was quite a character, but we will get to the bottom of that. I'm going to share with you now some photographs of the 1910 day dress that I have already completed. This is the costume piece that I will be wearing for the living historian piece, Squirgly, A Moment in Time. Also some of the photographs from the visit that I had with Pauline Adams at her gravesite on Memorial Day at Elmwood Cemetery. When choosing to do a living historian piece and to actually embody the person from the past, it's really important that you find some way to connect with them in their human form, and this was the closest I could get to her, so this moment was extremely important for me and very special. I also wanted to give a really special shout out to the Hampton Roads Photography Network, to the photographers who showed interest in this piece in its conceptual form, as well as the hairdressers and makeup artists who thought that they could collaborate as well, and very surprisingly so. So thank you to all of them. I also wanted to recognize all of the costume designers who have contacted me in regards to this project and future projects, and to show their enthusiasm for creating the concept of this piece, and I hope to work with all of them going forward. Very special Squirgly shout out to my girl Jessie, who contacted me on this piece, and we have become good friends, and she will be opening her own shop very soon, so we are very excited about that new endeavor for her and wish her well. So if any of this content or project seems interesting to you and you want to follow along on some of the research or some of the projects that I'm working on, please like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you can get notifications of all future projects as well as these. I will be linking the videos for easy access. Thanks for watching, and be kind to yourself and be your own kind of beautiful.